Beware if you are white. It seems like the only lasting legacy we're going to have from the Obama administration is the deep racial division that is ripping our nation apart, a plan devised by leftists to help set themselves up as saviors of the minority so they can get more and more of these demographics to the polls come election time. If you truly do a study of history, you'll discover rather quickly why it's so ironic for minorities to be so attached to the Democratic Party and the left-wing movement in general, given their deep-rooted history of racism and fondness for Nazism. If you haven't read Liberal Fascism by Jonah Goldberg or The Big Lie by Dinesh D'Souza, you need to do so as soon as possible. It breaks this all down. Anyway, a couple of nutjob professors from California have provided yet another example of the racial strife ushered in by the previous 8 years of progressivism. Fox News is reporting 2 California professors are criticizing farmers' markets for causing environmental gentrification in which habits of white people are normalized. San Diego State University geography professors Pascal Joseph Marcelli and Fernando J. Bosco contend that farmers' markets are white spaces oppressing minorities in a chapter for Just Green Enough, an environmental anthology focused on urban development. Environmental gentrification is defined as a process where environmental improvements lead to the displacement of long-term residents, according to the anthology. The professors, as reported by Campus Reform, say farmers' markets are exclusionary because locals cannot afford the food and/or feel excluded from these new spaces. The SDSU professors, who teach classes like Geography of Food and Food Justice, argue that farmers' markets are often white spaces where the food consumption habits of white people are normalized. While such markets are typically set up to help combat food deserts in low-income and minority communities, the academics argue that they instead attract households from higher socioeconomic backgrounds, raising property values and displacing low-income residents and people of color. And all of that is still just quoting from the mild insanity this pair spewed forth into the atmosphere with this report. Believe it or not, it actually gets nuttier. If you listen too long to the radical left, you end up walking away from a conversation believing all white folk are bad and are responsible for all the evil going down across the globe, as if racism is strictly a white man problem. Newsflash: racism is an issue with all of humanity. Every race and ethnicity battles with hating someone else because of their skin color. It's an unfortunate part of human nature. Solutions to the problem of racism must absolutely target it across the board, otherwise such a solution is just another part of the problem. Contrary to what these two wackadoos suggest, not everything on planet Earth is racist or intolerant or whatever liberal buzzword you want to throw out there. Most of the rhetoric being tossed around by the media is simply there to keep us at each other's throats and to serve the agenda of liberals and the Democratic Party. Let's stop drinking the Kool-Aid.